Hi. One second. Um, all right, that's way better without the light behind me. Hi, you guys. My name is Crispina French, and I am a textile upcycling entrepreneur, activist, the podcast host. I just recorded a couple really cool podcast episodes. I'm super psyched about them. And today, every Tuesday, I go live and I share just things I've learned along my way that have to do with textile upcycling. And one of the things I have such a hard time with the holidays, you guys. Like, I love to hang out with friends, I love to celebrate and enjoy company. But one of the things that I really have a hard time with is the excessive consumption aspect of the holidays, right? Like, I remember getting gifts from my parents when they were living that were just like duplicates of things I already had, or things that, they really just loved me so much and they wanted to share that love with me. And they were just really into gift giving. And I finally had to sit them down and be like, you guys, like, a gift is fine. You don't need to give me 10 or 20 or 30 gifts. Like, just let's celebrate our having each other in our lives, right? So that was a conversation that became, it was actually really well received, and it was heard, and their response was awesome. But for a lot of us, that's not even an option, right? Like, we have obligatory gifts that we have to give, and sometimes we receive things that are, that you wind up regifting or whatever. But one of the things that we can really address, regardless of what our situation is gift wrapping. So I actually was thinking about ways to just show you how that works. And one of the things that I realized was that it's really pretty easy to create fun and colorful, flamboyant, like uh, desirable looking gifts with upcycled and recycled materials as wrapping. So there's a couple things I would love to just check in with you first. Is this something that you guys are thinking about? Are you thinking about gift wrapping and how to do that in a manageable, environmentally minded way? Is that something that you've considered? Um, I started out talking about my parents, and I have a funny story to share. My dad was from Ireland, and he whoops, hold on a second. I just realized my computer's not plugged in, and I think that is going to be a good idea to plug it in. So we're good. So he would meticulously take his pocket knife, which he carried in his pocket at all times, little tiny knife that he would cut carefully the tape so that he wouldn't tear the paper when he unwrapped gifts, and then he would like re-roll the paper and store it away for the following year. And I thought it was crazy as a kid. And then, of course, what do? I do the same exact thing, and I actually have gift wrap paper that my parents used years and years ago. Both of my parents have been gone for a long time, so it's kind of a cool thing to like share that, and to have all those memories to look back on when those gifts are opened. So I want to show you a couple of ideas of just simple ways that you can spice up the appearance of gifts that are wrapped with upcycled or recycled materials. And one of the things that I get a little anal about this stuff, you guys. So I have a roll of it's called butcher paper, but it's really not butcher paper. It's craft paper, and I cut the sheet from it. So it's like an 18-inch wide roll. And you can buy a roll of paper. We have like a local restaurant supply place that sells it. And it's a lot. Like, I mean, the roll is like, this thick, and it's, miles of paper. And I use it when I'm shipping my packages, when people make purchases from my shop. And I also use it to gift wrap with. This is, it's paper. So it's 100% recyclable. Whether or not it's actually recycled content paper, I really don't know, but that's kind of a quick and easy way to go. Just use a paper that's not like a plastic coated paper, that's not like, plastic. Actually, there's a lot of gift wrap paper today that is plastic. And if you do wind up using that kind of paper, save it and re-roll it so you can use it again in the future. Before I go on, though, I would love to know, where are you tuning in from? And are you watching this live right now, or are you watching it as a recording later on down the road? Share with me that, and share also, like, is this your first time listening? Did you just stumble across my Tuesday's Textile Alchemy session? Every week I go live right here for about 20 minutes, and sometimes we have guests, and I try to answer questions that I hear from you guys so that I can provide helpful information to people who are just looking to kind of shrink their carbon footprint on planet Earth. So there's two things I want to show you today. And actually, we just got a big order in from a really beautiful manufacturer. And this is, I'm going to just take this out of the bag. This is it's Ernest Wright is the company that makes my favorite scissors, and they're the scissors that I use for fabric cutting. And as you might imagine, I have used many different kinds of scissors over the years, and these are handmade in Sheffield, England. I get an order annually, and it just arrived. I actually have a few pairs that are not spoken for. So if you're looking for a last minute, super amazing gift for someone who is a sewer on your list, they come in these beautiful presentation boxes, and there's a couple of little just like certifications in there. They're actually handmade in the UK, and this is what they look like when you get them out of your box. They come left and right handed. And I actually grabbed this box because I wanted to show you how I wrap presents, and I thought, oh, I should just show them the scissors too, because they are just, honestly, they will last you a lifetime. They're actually guaranteed for life. So if they get dropped or damaged in any way, they will be, you can get them repaired at Ernest Wright over in Sheffield, England. So they come with a little certificate. These are the dressmakers shears. And I also sell the storks. These also come in a beautiful little presentation box like that right here. So this is the box, and I'm not sure how well this is coming through, but it says on the box, every pair a jewel. And I have to agree 100%. Do you guys have a favorite pair of scissors that you use for your crafting or sewing, or, maybe you're actually a paper cutter? These scissors will hold a very sharp edge for a really long time, but I do not use my fabric scissors for paper because I love to have a very sharp blade on my scissors. So if you have a favorite tool, I would also, share, because, sometimes this social media stuff gets really one-sided, and I love to hear from you guys. So please let me know what where you're tuning in from, whether or not this is your first time catching me on a Tuesday's Textile Alchemy. And if you have a question that pertains to textile upcycling, let me know, because I love to answer questions that are, I kind of imagine I know what your questions are, but sometimes when I get the real questions, it just helps me understand better. So today we're going to take this shirt, and I don't know if you can tell, but this is a shirt that has kind of a weird stain right here. So it's really not that wearable. I tried to get that stain out, and it's just not coming out. So we're going to make some ribbon. And if anybody has experience making t-shirt yarn, this is the same process, but I'm going to actually do this where I can show you. It's hard for me to show you on my table, but I'm going to explain a technique that works really well, and then I'm going to use a different technique and show you how. So the way that you can make this quickly with less kind of elbow grease is to take a rotary cutter. Actually, you could use scissors as well, and you can cut straight across the body. So this is a t-shirt for anybody who's just joining. So regular old, this V-neck t-shirt, it doesn't matter. You can use V-neck, crew neck, whatever type of t-shirt you might have. And you can cut clear across the body of the t-shirt. So I'm going to hold it up sideways here. So if you cut from one side down to the other in strips as wide as you would like. So if you're going to make ribbon for tying up your boxes, you can cut, say, an inch wide, and you're just going to cut and leave about an inch at the end that's not cut across. And the best way to do this is laying down flat on a table so you can kind of keep it without, getting it all kind of tangled up and stuff. So I just want to say hey to Anita from Sweden and Gratitude Quilter from Tampa. Hello. Thanks for being with us. Hey, Randy. Oh, so nice to see you. And Laura. Oh my gosh, Laura's my neighbor. Laura DeBester. How are you? Belden out on the vineyard. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in today. It's going to be I think this is a really super useful technique. So you're going to cut all your strips down from one folded edge of the body of the t-shirt, and you're going to leave about an inch at the top where they're all connected. Okay. And once you have that kind of configured, and again, this is way easier to do. Like, I'm not going to cut this and hold it up because it'll just become a big mess. You're going to then cut from the edge, the bottom edge of your t-shirt, and just imagine that this is already cut into strips, and you're going to cut into that first strip that you've cut. So then you will have one long strip, and I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do this right now. So it's going to be, there's two techniques, and I actually think that I'm just going to focus on this single technique. I'm just going to stand up here. Let me reconfigure my camera a moment here so I can see you guys. So we're going to cut, just keep cutting, right? So I'm going to cut about, like I said, an inch wide. And I'm just going to cut and cut and cut and just keep following it around in a spiral so that you can make nice long pieces of what will become ribbon. So when you're doing this, you can use t-shirt, and it's nice to use a bright color if you're into the brightly colored gift wrapping, like I am, or find some kind of gaudy, brightly colored, sparkly thing at the thrift store. And use that because that's a lot of fun. So we are back around to, wait, hold on one second. So I just want to show you. Okay. So we're back around to where we started. Okay. So here's my strip. And so I'm just going to cut a diagonal from where I am so that I can sort of continue on my ribbon path, if you will. And now I'm just going to keep going. And it does not matter if if the edges of your cutting is jagged. It really doesn't matter, because one of the things that happens with t-shirts is when you cut it and then stretch it, it kind of curls up on itself. Okay. So when you cut it, like the bottom piece is going to be a little bit wider just because that has that hem built in. So you can kind of stretch it and it becomes sort of uniform and kind of cool. Right. So, cut as long as what I would do if I wasn't on a live right now, I would cut this whole t-shirt. So I would have like one big long piece of t-shirt ribbon for my holiday gift wrapping purposes. And because I want to show you the rest of my little technique here, I'm just going to cut a little bit more, and I'm going to then snip it off and get on with the next step. Okay, so now we have this really long, it's pretty long, like we're not going to need all of this, but I'm just going to roll it up in a ball so it's not as apt to getting tangled. So there's our ribbon. And then you can take any kind of fabric. Like this particular type of fabric is linen, and it's just it's like a fat quarter, and it's it would make great napkins, like dinner napkins. So you can, if you have a box that's small enough that would, say a square, this would be about, I think about maybe an 18-inch square. You could actually go ahead and make a napkin shaped piece to use for gift wrap. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So not only will this serve as a really nice piece of wrapping material for the gift I'm going to wrap, but it's also going to be useful afterward. And you could enclose in your note card something to share that with the recipient, right? Like, check out this gift wrap It's going to also double as a nice napkin for your lunchbox or your office or your home. And of course, you can choose whatever type if you have pieces of fabric like a lot of us do. This is a nice way to use some of that fabric stash that you might just have a piece of that's not big enough for a larger project, or fabric that you're probably just not going to use. Maybe you bought it and you thought you were going to use it for something and you didn't. These are great places to use that kind of thing, and just plant the seed, right? That you're going to just have a different spin on your gift wrapping. So I'm going to wrap this pair of scissors and I'm going to put it down on my fabric, and I'm just going to kind of fold my fabric around it. I'm just going to do this on my table surface so it comes out a little bit more neatly. And if you hang tight, I'll show you as I go here. Tape is really something that you can use, but I feel like if you are into it, you can kind of avoid it too. So I like to buy, actually, one of my kids really like the washi tape. And I do believe that washi tape is paper, right? Like it feels like paper. So I think that it's probably less plasticky than some of the other tapes out there. So here's my scissors. It's just wrapped up. So I just literally, it's like rolled up in there. Okay. You could also use a scarf. Bandanas are fun to use, low priced, but added fun to your gift giving. So then we're going to take our t-shirt ribbon that we just made, and we're just going to wrap it. And then I have this cool trick, you guys. Let me see if I can do this. And like, it's kind of backwards from you. So we're going to do that. We're going to wrap it this way. And then you're going to cut that off at the right length. And the cool trick is that you can make it so that, I don't even know, like if most people would even notice it, but the back does not have the cross. It's just like a cross, but it's not like twisted. The twist actually happens in the front. So if you're interested in learning that little trick, you can watch the recording of this live stream, and there's your gift wrap, right? So the other thing that's kind of cool is you can use fun paper to make your cards, right? Like, I don't know if you guys are aware, but my family has a business called the Dolphin Studio, and we screen print beautiful calendars. So we have a lot of we generate a fair number of like off prints that are mistakes or whatever, over prints. And I will use those for different, little gift tags or whatever. If you're a calendar customer, or if maybe you had a different calendar last year that it's over, right? The year's coming to a close. So you might be able to take those images from your gone by calendar and make some cool gift cards out of that. So let me know. Anybody have any questions? Anybody? Let's see. What is anybody saying here? I want to see. So let's see. We can't hear you. Love how it looks. Huh. Are you able to hear me now on Instagram? I'm sorry. Let me know, because I'm not sure what's going on with that. Why that would be going on. Still can't hear you. Huh. That's weird. I'm so sorry. Instagram can't hear me, but if you can hear me on, let's see. I'm going to try to fix it. Why does that not work? Let me see. Can you hear me now? That's so weird. Can you hear me now? Anyways, you guys, I'm so sorry that there's like some kind of weird thing going on. I wonder if you guys can hear me on the Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Can you guys hear me? It's kind of funny because I usually get a lot of comments and I'm not getting any. And I wonder if that's why. Huh. Almost. It's coming and going. That is so weird. Well, I'm so sorry that's going on. Maybe it's just like the internet's overwhelmed because it's Christmas. Maybe. Um, Jean say, okay, cool. So you guys can hear me on YouTube. So that's cool. Um, so if you had trouble hearing me on whatever platform you are tuning into, you can go over to YouTube and join Jean over there. Thanks for that, Jean. Thanks for that heads up. And get the whole replay over there. And I will be posting you know what I'll do is I'll post a link to the YouTube video on the other channels so that you guys can get that there. So I hope you all have a happy holidays. I will see you next week on my Tuesday's Textile Alchemy. And if you have questions, ideas, thoughts about what you would like to learn on one of these sessions, let me know, and I would love to answer those questions for you. Thanks so much.